Ultra-processed foods health risks explored. When you buy an egg from the supermarket, it generally makes a straightforward journey from the farm to your kitchen table. The same goes for fresh produce like apples or oranges. However, many packaged foods undergo a far more complex process before they end up in your shopping cart. These are often what we term ultra-processed foods. One way to identify them is by looking at the ingredient list. If it contains items you wouldn't typically find in your kitchen pantry or appears chemically engineered, chances are you're dealing with an ultra-processed product. Ultra-processed foods, health risks explored. In recent years, the health risks associated with ultra-processed foods have come into sharper focus. While much more research needs to be conducted, a spate of recent studies indicates a worrisome trend. For instance, a study published in November 2022 in the American Journal of Preventive Medicine concluded that 10% of deaths among 30 to 69-year-olds in Brazil in 2019 were likely attributed to the consumption of ultra-processed foods. Another study, published in Neurology in July 2022, linked a 10% increase in ultra-processed food consumption to a higher risk of dementia. What these studies indicate is that further research is imperative to fully understand the impact of ultra-processed foods on our health and dietary habits. We need bold researchers and medical professionals not financially tethered to the corporations producing these ultra-processed products. Only through independent research can we honestly assess the potential harm these foods may pose to us, both as individuals and as communities. Manufacturers transform these foods by adding preservatives, dyes, and non-sugar sweeteners, among other additives, to make them last longer and taste better. These changes often come at the expense of our health. What are ultra-processed foods? Before diving into the health risks, defining what ultra-processed foods is crucial. According to a 2017 commentary published in Public Health Nutrition, ultra-processed foods are made mostly or entirely from substances derived from foods and additives. In essence, they are far removed from their original, natural form. These foods typically feature additives not commonly used in home cooking, like preservatives and dyes. Unfortunately, many ultra-processed foods are also what we generally term junk food, which is high in sugar and calories and lacking essential nutrients like fiber. The nutrition quagmire and ultra-processed foods. Often, ultra-processed foods are loaded with sugar, salt, and unhealthy fats while being low in essential nutrients like fiber, vitamins, and minerals. High sugar content is a well-known risk factor for diabetes, while excessive salt intake has been linked to hypertension and cardiovascular diseases. Ultra-processed foods have been consistently linked to obesity, a known risk factor for numerous health conditions like heart disease, diabetes, and certain types of cancer. The high caloric density and low nutrient content of these foods can disrupt the body's ability to regulate hunger and fullness, leading to overeating and, ultimately, weight gain. Although there's still much to learn about the long-term health impacts of ultra-processed foods, a growing body of research is pointing to their significant risks. From contributing to mortality rates to potentially inducing cognitive decline, the data increasingly suggests that ultra-processed foods are detrimental to our health. In a world where these foods have become a dietary staple for many, it's time to reassess our eating habits. Our trifecta of health, freshness, fitness and fullness. At Reluctant Low Carb Life, we advocate for a trifecta of health that centers on three core principles: freshness, fitness, and fullness. Freshness. We encourage everyone to consume fresh, minimally processed foods rich in vitamins and nutrients. These foods typically go from the farm directly to your kitchen table without passing through multiple layers of industrial processing. Fitness? We believe good health is not just about what you eat but also how you move. Therefore, we suggest finding a form of physical activity that you genuinely enjoy and can maintain consistently. Whether going for a jog, doing yoga, or dancing, the aim is to make exercise a regular part of your lifestyle. We promote the consumption of foods that are high in fiber and nutrients, which provide a greater sense of fullness or satiety. Foods that are nutrient dense help you feel fuller for longer, thereby reducing the likelihood of overeating or snacking on unhealthy options. We have a free monthly newsletter that is filled with information and helps you remain updated. Subscribe to the Reluctant Low Carb Life newsletter by visiting our site at www.reluctantlowcarblife.com.